Hey everyone, welcome to the Pigskin Breakdown, powered by Sports Guys Iowa. I'm Ghost Brandon Leonard. I'm here with Jay Jordan Cole and JD John Gunderson. Gentlemen, how we doing this evening?
Great day to talk football.
Yep, always a great day.
Yes, it is. Pigskin Breakdown, guys. We're going to be talking about the Upper Iowa Peacocks a little bit more. We had a show with them on signing day with our friends, Joe Stacy, Mike Schrock, and Warren Ryerson. And we talked a lot really about the commits, the signees that are going to Upper Iowa in 2026 that are from the state of Iowa. Now they've got signing class outside of the state of Iowa. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into some of the guys that we really liked, some guys that stood out to us that are coming in from outside the state of Iowa. We'll just fire off here that stuck out to me right away. Now, I know this gentleman's been on your radar for a while, JD, for the all-name team, Sincere Williams. Now, I was watching Sincere and Dante Williams, and from what I can see, I'm not sure if there's any relation between the two. It's interesting. They both came from the same high school, St. Joseph's Catholic Academy up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's actually the same school as Upper Iowa's leading rusher, Jaden Gordon, that he went to. So got a little bit of a pipeline from Kenosha to Fayette right now. But those two coming in on the defensive line. Now, Dante is going to be on the inside a little bit more. He's a kind of a stacked, compact guy. I want to say his measurables are about 6 foot, 260, I want to say. He does a good job of really taking on double teams. He beats a lot of double teams too, from what I can see. He really pushes and collapses the pocket really well. Just a powerful dude. Whereas Sincere, he's going to probably be a guy that lines up on the edge a little bit more for the Peacocks. That's what's on tape for St. Joseph's Catholic. And he's got a really great bull rush. He does have some inside capability. The thing that stood out to me is his first step. He really just has a high motor, gets after the quarterback. And one of my favorite things when we were doing the film breakdown, gentlemen, was, I don't know if you guys noticed this on the highlights, but I watched Dante's first, and Dante's got a scoop and score. Okay. And then I go to Sincere's tape, and they highlight Sincere, and he's the one that forces the fumble on the one that Dante scoops and scores. And this big fella he's motoring. Sincere even gets a block in too. Just something that I thought was really cool. Brought a smile to my face when I saw that. I don't know, I'm a sucker to see guys from the same high school program going to a college program, continuing to grow together.
Ghost, one thing I just add, that's one of the best football programs in Wisconsin. They were undefeated state champs. So those guys know how to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then another thing that stuck out to me about Dante, you talk about success on the field. This guy's successful off the field as well. He is a team captain. He won multiple awards, character awards, including a Student of the Year awards. It's obvious that Coach Hoskins is putting a big emphasis on leaders like that. And I think he's probably going to be a locker room leader for years to come. I guess maybe unofficial Williams brothers. Those are two that really stuck out to me. Jay, who stuck out to you first and foremost? Give me some names.
Yeah, you talked a lot about the D-line. The guys that just I was completely blown away with were a lot of the running backs in this class. And they're a couple of smaller guys, but this Jacob Sinner out of Harlan, Wisconsin. I remember going to visit some buddies up at Iowa, and there was this young man down the hall from them, Akram Wadley. All they kept talking about was watch his highlight tape. Watch his highlight tape. Yep. Titan. First
Legend.
highlight tape. Yeah, he's just hurdling guys. And you're like, God, this guy can really play. And then I'm watching this Jacob Sinner and just his shiftiness. And again, smaller guy, James White style build, able to get out in the backfield, catch passes. And he's so quick. He just makes separation just like in the flash of a second. He was very impressive to me. And then this other guy, Terrence Little out of Missouri, Hazelwood East High School, he has track star level speed. In his bio, it says he runs a 4.5. He may be faster. I know that's pretty damn quick for an Upper Iowa player, but before the secondary could even notice, he was already on him through the hole. So He's blowing right by linebackers before they even get out of their stance. He's a quick guy. I think they were running a style like wing T down there in Missouri, but he was another quick guy that I was super impressed with. And the last running back, I think they ended up getting 3 guys out of state in the running back class.
Think you're thinking of Ballard for the third
Yeah,
one.
Jaden
Jaden Ballard. Yep.
Yes, yeah. He was more of a stout style back, but again, great vision, making guys miss, getting north and south. All these guys, just their ability to hit the hole and then create guys miss after that is super impressive. And to talk a little bit more about when JD talked to Coach Hoskins, he wanted to get quicker, he wanted to get stronger, bigger. These 3 alone, just in the running backs, very impressed. And yeah, he definitely hit the nail in the coffin with them, with getting some speed out of the backfield with those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And, to tie that in, few other guys that really stood out to me. It maybe feels like you're going chalk when you highlight the Division I transfers from the FCS and the FBS level, but there's a reason they got there too, got that look. Zamir Wise, the UMass transfer, he's another one that's going to bring a whole new wrinkle to that backfield when he's taking snaps. He runs zone read off the edge. He runs some veer on tape. He played a little bit of receiver in college as well. He was a 3-star recruit. And when he gets moving, he really can cover some ground pretty quick. And another one was the UNI transfer, Jaden Hodge. This guy is 0 to 60 in just a blink of an eye. He runs a lot of stuff out of the slot that you can see on tape. He got some game tape this year from UNI, but a lot of it's the practice stuff. And he's just cutting dudes up left and right. And when he gets to the edge, this guy is gone. I think he is going to do some really fun things. You talked about the quickness and explosiveness. This guy's Twitter bio said that his top speed's just shy of 23 miles an hour. Okay. So this guy, if they run him some deep posts and just air it out to him, that's something that they can do with, or just get it to him on the run. Do something quick. You know what I like to do? You're talking about it. You guys can't see this on the pod, but my hat says run the damn ball. Just figure out ways to get the balls of these athletes. And I think we got a new offensive coordinator up in Fayette. I think they're going to find some fun ways to get those 2 involved in the game as well. Jay, did any offensive linemen stick out to you? Is there a name that you really like their tape?
Yeah, Colton Barlow out of Dunlap. We both took some notes on him. That Dunlap High School in Illinois. Just a big body. He was good at setting the edge and just ability to maintain his block seat all the way through. He's blocking guys 20 yards downfield. Yeah, you want the speed. Sure, it's all fine and dandy, but if you don't have anybody to block for you, and that's another thing they did. They just got big boys up front. Him and this Jacob Paradowski, just his like first 4 plays I watched, he's just into his guy, hip toss, like just moving him like a dummy. It was
this guy Paradowski, not to interrupt Jay, but if football doesn't work out for him, being a bouncer at a club, I think that he's got a career in that if push comes to shove.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't have to toss old Warren Ryerson out of DTs after a few chilly ones.
Something tells me Warren, he might get a little rowdy, but he probably keeps her under control. Though he knows when to shut the faucet off. But those are a couple guys. Yeah, Barlow was one, and I'm not going to try to pretend to be an offensive line guru, but he's just a little bit shorter than a lot of guys. You watch a lot of these offensive linemen on tape, and a lot of them line up as left tackles. And he's one too that a lot of his high school tape, pretty much everything I saw, I think was him at left tackle. But he seems like a guy to me that might have a future on the interior offensive line. He seems like he's just got a mean streak to him. And his high school's got a lot of just like heavy run packages. Seems like a guy that he's going to get after it. He puts dudes in the dirt. He finishes plays. He was one that stuck out to me as well. On a fun note too, Brennan Lackey, another guy who's got it better than Brennan Lackey. He's an Upper Iowa Peacock down. His high school mascot's the Foxes. That's pretty sweet. And he's got some good tape too. He's 6'4", 300. He's got some good pass pro tape. Now there's sometimes too, I'm not gonna act like I'm an offensive line guru or anything, but there's sometimes he looks like he maybe gets a little too vertical, gentlemen. maybe needs to work on getting a little bit more depth, but obviously, you know, pretty green in high school. That's the case with a lot of guys. They're going to go to colleges like Upper Iowa and they're going to refine technique a little bit and probably get them to, be a little bit more of an anchor. But he always seemed to keep his feet underneath him and he's really finished his place too on a consistent basis. I think there's a lot to like with him.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with him, his ability to set the edge in the pocket too.
Yeah.
So, like, you want to talk about Barlow moving over to right tackle. This Lackey, he's a perfect left tackle blindside protector there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's certainly got the frame for it. You can't teach that kind of size. So,
yeah,
just a lot to be excited about with the hog mollies there. Covered a lot on offense, gentlemen. What do you say we cover some things on defense? And if you don't mind me taking the lead with this one guy that I had to watch his film back several times, especially his highlight tape that you find on the Upper Iowa signing day page, is Christian Wilkerson. This guy is an absolute heat-seeking missile. He covers a ton of ground in a hurry. You see him lined up, play a little bit deep safety at times, and he just comes down real quick, closes. He's got some box capability. Saw him line up in the box a few times, really gets after things in the run game. He is a more than willing run defender, guys. Something you don't see with a lot of defensive backs sometimes. So it's easy to see why they brought him to Fayette. He breaks on the ball. He does a good job of really baiting the quarterbacks at times. It's almost like he's just try it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got deceiving, maybe it's just my eyes, but it seems like he's got deceiving length to where he just reaches up and plucks some balls, jumps routes real quick. He's a dude to me that I think, maybe could play some special teams right away, especially on the kick squad, punt team, just going down, pinning your ears back and just having a guy like that. He seems like he could be a guy that can do some things right away. JJD, got any guys that stick out to you on the defensive side of the ball?
He's my number one. He was if I had a final rose and bachelor, or bachelorette, whatever, he's getting it. Cause man, he's 5'11", 170, plays like he's 225, just the way he goes up there and sticks his nose and everything. But yeah, he was super impressive. And this Isaiah Wilson out of Texas, DB, another guy that had great play recognition, and they tested him a lot in his huddle tape on one-on-ones. And sure, you're not going to put a whole lot of bad tape out there, but many plays where he's right on the guy's hip pocket and swatting the ball away. Yeah, he was super impressive to me as well. But that Christian Wilkerson can't get my eyes off him. He was pretty crazy. I guess you want to go D-line, that Hudson Turek. I think we talked about him a little bit, maybe, at Sun Prairie East with the Upper Iowa guys. Just a big body in there. He was an edge rusher over there in Sun Prairie, and he's pretty impressive with his nose for the ball. He won a majority of his battles at the line of scrimmage. Very quick down the line. I don't know, they're running opposite side. He was always in on the play. So, yeah, I mean, we touched with the quote-unquote Williams brothers. They're wildly impressive as well, but there wasn't a whole lot else on the defensive side of the ball out there. And they definitely got their speed and size, that's for sure.
Yeah, Brandon, Coach Hoskins, when I had a chance to interview him, he called out Turek in particular from Sun Prairie. His dad's kind of a former famous Badger player, played on a couple Rose Bowls. So big name up there. I think his dad coached him in high school. So just got a motor on him, but he was one of those key guys that he mentioned as, hey, this guy could help us, which usually when a coach mentions that means maybe they can help him right away.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good point. That one kind of slipped my mind there. I forgot that Coach Hoskins said that. And you look at his resume on the website too. He's an academic all-stater, honor roll, academic excellence. He seems like your all-American kid. Just got that good pedigree. All conference on both sides of the ball. And a team captain, 6'3", 255. That is great size too for a defensive lineman. Another one that you probably going to see go inside and out if they so choose. Yeah, be interesting to see if Hudson can get on the field right away for the Peacocks this year. I mean, we've covered a lot of players, guys. I think another one, we interviewed him a few weeks ago too, Cam Hungerholt, Mr. Football in Minnesota. He was the AP Player of the Year. He had almost 12,000 all-purpose yards in high school, guys. Now that is just insane to comprehend. That was one when I saw it. I'm like, that can't be right. And then you watch him play, and you're like, oh boy, you see why. They do a lot of on this high school tape, but I know he's playing receiver, but just to give you the idea of the athlete he is, they do a lot of spread offenses. He's in the backfield by himself a lot, and they just let him go. It looks to me like a lot of backyard football and just letting him get out into space. And when his big legs get going, he's tough to bring down. He really has the ability to change his direction really quick too. There's several instances on this tape where he's running on the sidelines and it looks like defenders are closing in on him, and then he uses his vision to really just cut back across and get that top end speed real quick, big plays. I'm interested to see how he does at wide receiver, guys. I think there's something to be said about athletic quarterbacks that make the switch to wide receivers. I think they just have maybe a little bit better feel for the game and maybe what that quarterback wants. He's someone to me that just accolades alone, you have to think he's probably going to make some noise right away and fight for some kick there.
Yeah, Brandon, he's also up in school already. He's working out, he's playing, he's catching balls with the quarterbacks. Those guys who were in early, like the offensive lineman who transferred in from Cedar Rapids Kennedy, those are guys that have an advantage that you've got to have your eye on, that they've got a real shot at helping next year.
For sure. And we talk about the receiver position too. There was one other guy that was kind of sticking out for me. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be a contributor right away, but Weston Bayer, he's another one. Him and Hungerholt, they look the same when they're running. They both have really long strides, both some taller dudes, not the biggest wide receivers, but get him in the college weight room, they'll put on some muscle. But he's a dude that's got good top end speed. He was really snags a lot of jump balls. He's going to be a red zone weapon down the road for the Peacocks. Like, I don't know if he's going to be an impact player right away. Might be a red shirt candidate, but he's someone that I enjoyed the contested catch ability. It's something you can't really teach that well. I feel like some dudes just have it and they don't, and he seems to have it, guys. Someone to keep an eye on down the road as well.
Yeah, Ghost. I just had to. There was one more wide receiver, this George Ziegler out of Texas as well. He was getting a lot of sideline opportunities, and he had great balance, just being able to catch the ball while also maintaining both his feet in bounds. But there was countless catches on his huddle highlight where it was a bunch of sideline grabs, go routes, back shoulder. He was also pretty impressive at Lakeview High School down in Texas.
I didn't get to see any GZ3 film, unfortunately, but I'll take your word for it. I see in your notes, quick, in all caps. So I think that definitely counts for something, GZ3. I love that. But gentlemen, this has been another good, fruitful conversation. We tried our best to really deep dive down in here. On the surface, these guys it seems like an awesome recruiting class.
Yeah.
Up there in Fayette. They've got something going, and it seems they've got that door there. They see it, and they really need to just kick it down this year. JD, any parting thoughts about this class?
Just say the enthusiasm when you're interviewing a coach is always hard to gauge. Coach Hoskins, it was hard not to think that when you're talking to him, hey, this might be the best class he's been able to put up there. And then our podcast with the announcers, Warren Ryerson and Stasi, they've been covering the team. Stasi's been covering it for 25 years. They were just so bullish on this class. It looks like a class where they were able to be choosy at who they wanted and fill some real needs. And Jordan said, really add to the speed side of things.
Yeah.
It's certainly an exciting time up in Fayette.
I mean, from the class, and then the announcement the other day of Max Longman being promoted from position coach to offensive coordinator as well. I believe he was most recently the offensive line coach. And they down offensive line. There were some games there where you had some dudes putting up big numbers.
Yep.
I had some All-Americans. I believe he also coached tight ends as well and helped develop the All-American from Montezuma, Eddie Burgess. I have to be excited about what Max Longman's going to bring there. I hate to speculate. It seems like, though, when you got an offensive line guy, you're going to see a lot of running. But like I said with the hat, let's see it. Throw the kitchen sink at these guys, use your athletes, and then just when the game's at the end of the game, use those big offensive linemen and just pound them into submissions. A lot to be excited about in Fayette, guys. And we appreciate the Peacocks for collaborating with us, allowing us to provide some coverage for signing day. And we're excited to get up to a game here this fall.
Yeah, guys, we're going to continue our series. Football never sleeps now, right? And there's a lot going on for the teams we cover. And we're going to have a show every week. It's awesome. We thought we were going to take a vacation when the season was over. Now with the transfer portal, we can go all year.
But anyway, gentlemen, I think we've covered a lot. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening in, everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our page on Spotify to get all of our podcast updates, be sure to do that. Same thing with YouTube. We post content on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're trying to get every single social media platform and stay consistent with it. Share stuff if you've got it. Find something interesting. I know we just had some fun stuff with Dr. Bowser about how to increase participation numbers amongst Iowa girls basketball players in high schools. If you have an idea or something, share it. Get it to a coach. Get it to a player. We want to hear it. We appreciate your support. We couldn't do it without you. And you guys take care. Thank you.
Have a great night.